Let's see if that's... Okay, I'm going to adjust it just a smidge.
My first 2 weeks on the job, I was calling somebody who was donating to us and said, you know, why do you give? And he said, I give. He's an older gentleman, so I thought he was going to say his wife, you know, or something. And he said, I give because my daughter has Alzheimer's. And he said she's 50 years old and she has Alzheimer's, and that's why I give. And then he just kind of choked up and said, do something about this disease. And that drives me every day.
I think there are more people now who are willing to talk about it openly and who view it as a disease like any other disease.
Don't be afraid. Whatever you do, don't be afraid. Don't get in the closet, shut the door, and hide from it. Because there's a lot of people, when you let them know that you're diagnosed with this, they don't go around you anymore. They're scared of it.
When we found out that my brother had severe dementia, we were ill-equipped to handle him at home. And we just needed answers. So we walked into the office just to pick up a pamphlet or information, something that would explain to us what to expect. And we ended up staying there for an hour with a counselor in a room, very unexpectedly, and he went through the whole process of the disease, what we could expect.
Since the diagnosis, we've gotten really close, and so it's literally, I just go over there and I talk to him, and I see how he's doing, how he's coping with it. So I cope by just being close to him and making memories that I can while he still remembers. And
now, I thought I have to really try and cause awareness, bring about awareness, and educate people, and know, you know, that the Alzheimer's Association is here for them.
My grandpa had Alzheimer's. I had never been exposed to it until he was diagnosed, so I was not educated in what all that was. So it was a learning experience, and we had to learn fast.
Yeah.
We have to relearn how to communicate because they can't relearn. They can't relearn how to understand and how to process.
Like, my reason to do it was just a drive for me, because I mean, I've seen a lot of people that have like gone through it, and after their loved one passed away from the disease, then they just like completely forget about it and not focus on the Alzheimer's Association. But I just knew if my loved one already passed away, then how is it going to help to end the disease as a whole? We need to keep fighting for it and to keep that drive alive.
And pickleball is probably, I've found, in all the sports I've played, the most social sport, where people are just socially married to each other, if you will. And so I thought it'd be a great opportunity for the pickleball community to add our contributions to the Alzheimer's activities and funds and awareness.
The biggest opportunity is that there are so many people that we have not connected with. And when we think about what we have done as an association, we've done some tremendous work from the standpoint of care and support, all the other things that we do as a part of our mission. But yet and still, we are not even touching 10% of the population who's impacted. And when I think about that, it's a challenge, but it's also a huge opportunity that if we are somehow able to just double that, the number of lives that will be impacted by us being able to reach more people.
A lot of people don't know. I've been surprised by the amount of people that don't even know what Alzheimer's is. So even having these little events and even letting one new person come onto the cause, I mean, that's making a difference.
A lot of people have lost a little bit of hope because they've seen so many drug trials fail. And the answer is, even with these failures, we've still learned a lot. And has helped us make better trials for the next. And I really think we're getting much closer.
What we mainly do is we try to find proteins that help us diagnose Alzheimer's disease as early as possible. And so we really want to be able to diagnose people who don't have the cognitive symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. That's where the human connection comes in.
Yeah.
Because if it's just an organization coming in and saying you should do this because we're the authority on this issue, because we've done a lot of the research for you, and it is a crisis. It's hard to say that without having that human connection, and I think that's also what the longest day is about as well, because it's everyone out there coming together to represent their family's impact from the disease.
Because we have several residents that their spouses are not living at the facility, and so they come, and a lot of them come for music specifically because they know that they'll have this really good interaction with them. Their loved one may not even be able to speak to them anymore, but during the music they're making eye contact, they're smiling at each other, they're singing together, they're playing instruments.
So we're shining a light on it so we can get more money, which is what things like this are doing in the Alzheimer's Association in St. Louis, raising the awareness. And with the awareness will come the funds, with the funding will come the research, with the research will come the cure.